This is the story of a man who won. Not a man who struggled, not a man who failed, a man who achieved every single thing he ever set out to achieve. And the night he finally got it all, he sat alone in his new corner office, looked out at the city below, and felt absolutely nothing. What an old boatman told him 3 days later on a quiet river at dawn changed the way he understood his entire life. And it may change the way you understand yours. Before we continue, what time are you watching this right now, and where are you from? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if stories like this stay with you, please like this video and subscribe. It means more than you know. In a city built on ambition, there lived a 36-year-old man named Nathan. Nathan had done everything right, top of his class, first into the office, last to leave. 15 years of saying yes to every project, every deadline, every sacrifice. And it had worked. He had the apartment with a view, the car he had once seen in a magazine as a teenager and promised himself, the title on the door, the salary his parents could never have imagined. From the outside, Nathan's life was the answer to everyone else's question. But there was something Nathan never said out loud. Every time he reached a goal, the satisfaction lasted a few days, sometimes only a few hours. And then a quiet voice inside him would whisper, "What is next?" And he would begin climbing again, a bigger title, a better car, a higher floor. He was not living, he was collecting. And he did not know the difference. Not yet. Then, one Tuesday morning, his colleague Daniel did not come to work. Daniel was 44. He sat 3 desks away. He had given the company 19 years. He talked about the things he would finally do someday: travel, rest, time with his daughters, always someday, after the next project, after the next promotion. That morning, his heart stopped in his sleep. Nathan attended the funeral on Thursday. On Friday, he walked past Daniel's desk. It had been cleared. The photographs, the coffee mug, the small plant, gone. A new laptop sat there, still in its box, waiting for the next person. 19 years, cleared in one afternoon. Nathan stood in the corridor for a long time, and a question arose inside him that he could not push back down. If I disappeared tomorrow, everything I have sacrificed everything for, how long would it take to replace me? He already knew the answer. He whispered to the empty corridor, "What am I actually living for?" No one answered. That weekend, unable to sleep, unable to sit still, he drove out of the city before sunrise. No destination, no plan. And just after dawn, he found himself standing at the edge of a wide, slow river, where an old man was untying a small wooden boat. The boatman was perhaps 70. His hands were rough from decades of rope and water. His movements were slow, but nothing about him seemed weak. He seemed like a man who had stopped hurrying a long time ago, not because he had given up, but because he had arrived somewhere the rest of the world was still running toward. He looked up at Nathan, standing on the bank in his expensive coat and his tired eyes. "You look like a man who owns many things," the boatman said. Nathan gave a small, empty laugh. "I suppose I do." "Then tell me," the old man said, gesturing to the boat. "Would you like to cross?" Nathan did not know why he said yes. He just did. They pushed off from the bank. The river was calm. The city was far away. For a while, neither of them spoke. Only the sound of the oars and the water and the morning. Then the boatman said something Nathan would remember for the rest of his life. "Do you know what this boat is for?" Nathan looked at him. "To cross the river." "Yes, to cross, that is all. I have carried thousands of people across this water, and in 50 years, do you know how many of them, upon reaching the other side, lifted the boat onto their shoulders and carried it with them down the road?" Nathan almost smiled. "None. That would be absurd." "It would," the boatman said. "The boat is useful on the water. On land, it is only weight. And yet, I watch people do exactly this with their lives, the career, the title, the possessions, the image they have built. These things are boats, my friend, vehicles. They exist to carry you somewhere. But most people forget where they were going. They fall in love with the boat. They decorate the boat. They compare their boat to other people's boats. They spend their whole lives rowing in circles, polishing the boat, and they never once ask about the destination." Nathan looked down at the water moving past them. "I saw a man's desk cleared this week," he said quietly. 19 years, gone in an afternoon." The boatman nodded, unsurprised. "The river does not stop for anyone," he said. "Everything on it is temporary. The success, the failure, the praise, the comparison, all of it is water moving past you. When you understand this, truly understand it, you stop clinging, not by force, through wisdom. And a man who has stopped clinging cannot be shaken by anything." "Then what is the destination?" Nathan asked. "If everything I have built is just the boat, what is the other side?" The old man was quiet for a moment. "The other side," he said, "is knowing who you are when the boat is gone." Most people cannot answer that question. Take away their title, their salary, their possessions, and there is no one left standing. They built the vehicle and forgot to build the traveler. Your fear, your anger, your endless comparison with other men, these exist only because you believe you are the boat. Rise above them. Live with awareness. Do your work. Do it fully. Do it well, but hold it lightly. Use the vehicle. Do not become it. The boat touched the far bank. Nathan stepped out onto the grass. He turned back. "How do I begin?" he asked. "Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself one question. What did I carry today that I did not need to carry? The comparison, the resentment, the fear of falling behind. Find one thing and set it down the way you are about to walk away from this boat. Ask it every night for 21 nights, not because the number is magic, because that is how long it takes a man to stop reaching for weight out of habit." And he rode back into the morning light. Night 1. Nathan sat on the edge of his bed and asked the question. The answer came instantly. The resentment he carried toward a colleague who had been promoted faster. He had carried it for 2 years. He looked at it honestly for the first time, and he set it down. Night 5. He found the fear. The quiet, constant fear of falling behind whom he suddenly realized he had never actually asked. Night 9, a project went to someone else, and the familiar burn of comparison rose in his chest. And then, for the first time in his life, it passed through him, water moving past the boat. Night 14, he called his parents. Not about anything, just to talk. His mother said, "You sound different, lighter." He said, "I set some things down." Night 21, he sat by his window above the city and realized something had quietly reversed. He still worked, he still built, But the work had become the boat again, and he had become the traveler. He was no longer collecting, he was crossing. 6 months later, Nathan still had the apartment, the car, the title. Nothing on the outside had changed. Everything on the inside had. He worked with more focus than ever, but the work no longer owned him. He stopped comparing his life to lives he had never actually wanted. The fear of falling behind dissolved because he finally knew where he was going, and it was not a place anyone else could reach before him. And every night he still asked the question, what did I carry today that I did not need to carry? Some nights the answer was small, some nights it was heavy, but every night he set one thing down. And every morning he woke a little lighter. My friend, look at your own hands for a moment. What are you carrying right now? The comparison that has quietly followed you for years, the fear of falling behind people you do not even wish to become, the resentment you have rehearsed so many times it feels like part of you, the belief that the next achievement, the next title, the next possession will finally be the one that fills the silence. It will not. Nathan had all of it, and it was never the destination. It was only ever the boat. You are not what you own. You are not your title, your salary, or your follower count. Those are vehicles. Useful, yes. Worth working for, yes. But the moment you mistake the vehicle for the destination, you begin rowing in circles for the rest of your life. So here is the practice. One question, every night, for 21 nights. Before you sleep, ask yourself, what did I carry today that I did not need to carry? Find one thing, look at it honestly, and set it down. Do this for 21 nights, not 20, every single night, because that is how long it takes to stop reaching for weight out of habit. On night 21, you will not need anyone to tell you whether it worked. You will feel it in your shoulders, in your mornings, in the quiet behind your thoughts. You are not someone who has fallen behind. You are someone who has been carrying a boat down the road and calling it a life. Tonight, you set it down. If this story reached something in you, give this video a like right now. Then drop a comment below. What is the one thing you are going to set down tonight? Name it. Make it real. I will be reading every single one. Share this with someone who has everything and still feels empty. They will understand it more than they will admit. And subscribe. Every week, one story, one turning point, one small thing that changes everything. Remember what the boatman told Nathan on a quiet river at dawn. The boat is not the journey. You are.